everybody here. It's 7, and we've got another matchup for you today. Myself versus Crow, Triple F. When we were picking armies, I'd seen a build from Turin that basically had two Cygors in it, a little bit different from this setup. But the idea was that you separate your Cygors and separate little parts of your army for slow moving other armies where they have to sort of either chase you around the map and you're just picking them away with the Cygors relentlessly, or charging them with fast units. Now he said he was using this build or a similar build against dwarves, and he said, "Oh, it's good against dwarves." He won that battle. He said, "Oh, I imagine it's good against high elves as well." So you're thinking Swordmasters of Hoeth, White Lions, that sort of thing, high tier infantry, Phoenix Guard. And so as they're coming after your lowly Beastmen army, you're making life difficult by peppering them with giant boulders. And then when they're, close to routing or whatever, you chase them off with some low tier infantry. Well, so anyway, that's what I thought. So I was like, yes, okay, high elf. So I'm going to do a Turin. I'm going to get my Cygors apart and everything, and then I realised that in fact my opponent had Dragonspam and a Phoenix and also a Chariot. I mean the Reaver Archers, sure. So I put some Chaos Warhounds up the back there just to make life, difficult, or I thought I was going to be clever. And then I realised that's really not my game plan. So as soon as I saw Dragonspam, I was very disappointed. So he's got a Phoenix, Moon Dragons, and a Star Dragon, with a Prince, and a Noble, and obviously he just had some money left, so he's popped the Reaver Archers in. So the Reaver Archers, I'm pretty sure, have seen the Warhounds and gone, oh, this is nice and easy, and it certainly is. So yeah, very disappointing to start off with, but where's that rock going? Whew, just missed. They might be depth of field perceptionally challenged, but that's good enough for anyone with two eyes, let alone one. So let's speed her up and see what's going on. So these are just the regular Warhounds. I thought possibly that I could do something useful with them, but unfortunately those Reaver Archers are pretty quick. Anyway, I noticed these guys were sitting here, and I wondered whether they were whether they were actually being micromanaged away or whether it was just on skirmish. So yeah, the rest of my Beastmen army gets to see the Warhounds get clobbered. I mean, these guys might take out a couple, which is great, but then they're routed off the field. So yeah, off to a great start. And it's always going to be a bit like that. I mean, if they had archers in the back line or an eagle bolt thrower, yeah, maybe we could have had a different story, but Chaos Warhounds are definitely run off the field. So that's a good chunk of the army, certainly a mobile, fast part of the army thrown. So no doubt my opponent is very happy at this point in time, and as he should be, because he did very well. So I wasn't really sure how to proceed. I mean, I've got, I think, Morgor here, Malagor of Dark Omen, because he can summon another Cygor, which was again part of the build that I was trying to emulate here. Figured, well, some giant boulders might be useful, and then I thought, alright, well, his Cav's got to go. Really, I could have probably ignored that to an extent, but it certainly would have been annoying to have them around. So I thought, oh yeah, maybe he's just microed. Nothing like a giant boulder getting into some elves to make you have a bit of a laugh. So I mean, the Centaurs with great weapons, they're useful. They're useful, and they're very fast as far as their unit card says, but I mean they can chase these guys around all day, and I think they'd be hard pressed to catch them. So obviously my opponent's doing some scouting because the Ungor herd will be hidden with the stalk mechanic. Actually did end up getting some of the Reavers. I don't know why these guys just stopped, so that wasn't really good. Then I realised that they were getting shot up needlessly, and so anyway they're having a fun time. These guys less so when there's a dragon literally breathing down your neck. The old Saigo's doing pretty well. I mean, 14 kills, that's not too bad on fast-moving targets. And so the Phoenix has come down, and the Prince, obviously, for just a quick kill. And so I thought, oh, I've got some spears, sure, why not? We'll see how we go. Anyway, I'd taken all the spells off Malagor, pretty much, except for the one that summons Saigors. And I thought, okay, well that could be something. And again, this Saigor's missing Noble. He hasn't hit him yet. Even with the stamp to the face of his chariot. So a lot of my guys are running. On the upside, you got the Chaos Spawn coming in, and things get a little bit crazy. So we might slow it down. The issue is that this is a Prince on the dragon. So, you know, obviously in a small army it's a core leadership component. So I didn't see him use any breath attacks before he came in. And now being surrounded by a cranky Chaos Spawn and a large cow with a rock, things are a little bit weird. So I thought, well, maybe I can get at least one of these dragons down with the Chaos Spawn and just swap them with cheap infantry. Apparently the Saigors hit someone once, which is good, and then the Senegors with great weapons turn up. So this is turning out to be not too bad. To the point of, well, managed to at least sort of frighten a Moondragon away. You would think that they'd be turning around and nuking these guys with a breath attack. But while those dragons got away, the Prince is having a difficult time getting out of combat. So I wish I had my Warhounds handy. I should have just kept one group nearby. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. The Illyrian Reavers are still running around quite unhindered. Saigo's still throwing rocks. Should have remembered the Storms. Braveheart quote. So yeah, and this is not doing too bad for the mobility. I mean, sure they use pretty much all of their ammo, but they certainly could have done a little bit better. Anyway, in the main fight, the Prince is almost dead. If I'd had a Spirit Leech, which I needed somebody else, but if I'd had the Spirit Leech, well, that might have been it for him. And because the Senegors are so quick, they can still keep up with the Prince, so that may indeed stop him from leaving. The other dragons are pretty healthy. This one certainly is. This one's not the best. And because the Noble decided to go toe-to-toe quite literally with the Saigor, he hasn't done very well. So there goes the Prince. So high five, crisp high five to the Senegors. And the wheels start falling apart off the Elven army. Again, I don't know how many breath attacks he's got left, but he should have a few more. I mean, the Phoenix has been routed. The Senegor is still throwing rocks. Here comes one. Ah, there we go. Finally, a breath attack. That's what should have happened first off. But being surrounded and getting thoroughly clobbered, yeah. Everything starts to rout, and that's it. So I had no business winning that fight. No business at all winning that fight. These dragons should have been using their breath attacks. These could have been microed a lot better. I mean, perhaps my opponent was only just starting. I mean, he clobbered me in the next game, which I sort of went a little bit lolsy and used just hell cannons. But yeah, I sort of feel like I got a cheap victory out of that one because, again, not many of my units did anything at all, really, and these guys were obviously had much higher kills. So anyway, it was a learning experience as always. If there's anything that you think that I could have done better or could have tweaked my army, please let me know in the comments, and I'm certainly happy to read them and take that feedback on board. And I'll see you next time in the world of Warhammer.